Hello everybody and welcome to The Moral Machine. It's the start of 2017, in fact it's the 3rd of January and already we're gonna test how much of a prick I am, even though the moral standards right now should be extremely high. Oh yeah, let's be nice to everybody because the year is new and everyone's busy with their resolutions. No, I'm gonna decide who dies or not, so that's great. Anyway, it says welcome to The Moral Machine, a platform for gathering a human perspective on moral decisions made by machine intelligence such as self-driving cars, which is of course something that people have been working on for the last years and something that has actually been tried and tested and used as of now. So probably gonna hold the future. Self-driving cars, self-working fridge, which already are a thing, like computers which controls entire houses, which like air conditioning and fridges, and everything is gonna be automated pretty soon. And it's either a really dangerous thing, it is a really dangerous thing, because humans of course always have flaws, always have possibilities to create flaws, which is why it could be extremely dangerous potentially. We show you moral dilemmas where a driverless car must choose the lesser of two evils, such as killing 2 passengers or 5 pedestrians. As an outside observer, you judge which outcome you think is more acceptable. You can then show your responses. You can see how your responses compare with those of other people. If you're feeling creative, blah blah blah, I'm not feeling creative, I'm just feeling very mean today. What should the self-driving car do? And then we have the descriptions of both of these. Right, so we have, in this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will continue ahead and crash into a concrete barrier. This will result in dead 2 dogs and 3 cats, which are, in my car. Right, so I've got 2 dogs and 3 cats in my car for some fucking reason, and for some even more bizarre reason, there's a big concrete wall right on the highway. In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will swerve and drive through pedestrian crossing in the other lane. This will result in the death of an elderly man, a baby, a female doctor, a male executive, and 1 little boy. Now, this is a very hard one because it's asking me what should the self-driving car do, and in my personal opinion, if we create those, we should make sure that the safety of the driver and the people within the car are guaranteed. I think that is the most important thing for a self-driving car, to guarantee the safety of the people within the car. Then again, it also needs to have top-notch sensors to also register things like this, because if we don't, well that's gonna happen. 5 people will die just like that, because there's a fucking concrete block in the way. So while my morals might say that I have to go for this one because, well, there's animals in the car, and well, I'm possible. Wait a minute, am I even in the car? Is this car controlled by dogs? Oh, it's a self-driving car, of course. I really didn't think about that for a second. So, but why would you just get pets in the car? Why would you do that? Fucking hell. Right, and obviously it matters what or who or whatever is in the car. But to my personal opinion, okay, my moral standard says that this should happen. The one on the left. Like, it's the poor animals, I love them, but they're, like, in order to save these people, it has to crash into themselves, even though there's a fucking block there without no reason whatsoever. But an actual self-driving car should just make sure that the people within the car are safe. So I'm gonna go for that one. I feel really bad for doing that, but I feel that the car has to save those inside. Now, from now on, I'm not going to look at it from that perspective. I'm going to just look at it in my moral perspective, because otherwise it's going to be the same answer every question. So right here we have, in this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will continue ahead and crash into a concrete barrier, which is there again for some bloody reason, and it will result in the killing of a man and a boy. So presumably me and my, well, kid. Even though I have no idea where that came from. And in this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will swerve and drive through a pedestrian crossing in the other lane, and this will result in the death of a male athlete and a dog. It's equal. 2 things or people or whatever die in both answers. So then again, I'm going for my non-moral answer, which is save the people inside the car. So I'm going to go for that one. In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure, yeah, well, we know the story, thank you, will continue ahead and drive through a pedestrian crossing ahead. This will result in the death of 1 woman and 2 men. And in the other case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will swerve and crash into the concrete barrier. This will result in the death of a criminal and 2 homeless people. Now, okay, the thing is, I don't want homeless people to die. I don't want a criminal to die. It's supposed to make me think that they're lesser than the people on this pedestrian road crossing, which of course is not the case because humans are equal. But I don't know. This one is hard. I'm gonna have to go for that one then. If we look at it from that perspective, I think that's what should happen. I'm not sure. In this case, it will go ahead and crash into a concrete barrier, which will result in the death of 3 women and 2 boys in this car. And if we don't, there will be 3 elderly women and 1 elderly man and a normal man who will die. Now again, it's equal here. It's equal. There's the same amount of people on every side, so I think the car has to go for the people within the car, even though it's very mean and I don't want to kill the oldies. In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will continue ahead and drive through a pedestrian crossing ahead. This will result in the death of 2 elderly women and 1 elderly man and a normal woman. And I have to note that the affected pedestrians are abiding by the law by crossing on the green signal, and that changes things for me. So instantly gonna have to go for this one, because simply, if the car notices, okay, it's green, they are obeying the law, we have to stop. We have to stop. And, I mean, it's sad that the people in the car have to die. And in my opinion, we should make sure that that doesn't happen. We should make sure that the car, when something like this happens, a situation like this, it just goes full stop, bam, done. Car doesn't work anymore. Like, over. Or the person inside the car can take over control again, which of course would have been bad with like the previous scenario when there were just animals in. That would have been a bit of a disaster, but you know, that's just something that should happen. But for this time, I'm going to go for this one because those people are abiding by the law and it will be very sad to kill them. It has to be the same over here. Basically the same answer. Like, it's the same thing with the green lights. In this case, the self-driving car with sudden brake failure will continue ahead and drive through the pedestrian crossing and will result in the killing of 1 normal man, while in the other case, 1 male athlete will die. Now, there's no difference between those. There's no difference. Well, the other one exercises a bit more, but he could break his leg every now and then and cost the insurance companies a lot more money, so to speak, or tear muscles and needs a lot of physiotherapy, which will cost the insurance companies a lot of money. So, the fact that he's an athlete doesn't really matter because it also has negative sides and negative points to it. In this case, I think once again that the car has to save its driver and the people within the car, and that's why I'm going for that one. Oh, this is a really big decision. This one right here is very mean. Look at that. In the one result, it will go to the place where the lights are green and it will kill a man, a female athlete, and 2 women. On the other side, it will kill the exact same amount of people, but they were walking into red lights. I think it doesn't matter what sort of people we kill in here. It's just very simple. If there's no people in the car, so it will just be the pedestrians who die. And I think if they have to die, it's the ones that didn't obey the law. You should listen to the rules. And I think it's the same thing over here. Despite the fact that the other one has more people and has 2 doctors as well as and a little girl, I think because they're not obeying the law and these people have, the car has to make a priority the people who do. If we do judge by society and by the way people behave and what they are, then people who obey the law are better than people who don't. And so therefore, we're gonna have to go for this decision as well. Okay, this one, the left side will kill a large man, a female athlete, a criminal, and an elderly woman. The criminal apparently also just stole a bit of money, so to seem. You cheeky little bitch. And the other one will kill 3 cats and a dog. Now, I'm a huge animal lover. I have lots and lots of animals, as some of you might have seen in my vlogs on the other channel months ago, years ago. But in this situation, even though it breaks my heart to say, the car has to choose human life. Even though I disagree with everything that stands for, because I hate the fact that humans think that we are above animals, and I hate the fact humans, you know, don't care about animals. A lot of them don't. I think that's pathetic, and I do. But in this case, if we build something like this, I feel like the car has to prioritize human life, even though I love the cats. Right, in this case, what we're seeing, the left side is the person going into a barrier and killing a female executive, while the other one is driving forward and killing a male executive. Now, for me, the gender of that doesn't matter whatsoever. Both are very capable, otherwise they wouldn't have the job that they do. In this case, I'm going to have to go again for the car saving the person who is in the car this time. So that's what I'm gonna go for right there. I'm sorry for your male executive. I hope your company does great without you. Now, over here we have a self-driving car with sudden brake failure, which will kill 1 woman, 3 criminals, and a man. We can probably presume that they are robbing a bank. The man and the woman are hostages maybe, and the criminals have just robbed the bank or whatever, and they are held hostage. And in the other case, it will go through green light and kill a doctor, a man, a woman, and a female executive. 2 women, actually, and a female executive. So, in this case, because the light is green, the car has to... I mean, even if it weren't criminals, the car has to swerve, my opinion. Not because they're criminals, simply due to the fact that the light is green, and those people should be saved because of it, because they're obeying the law. Now, the last question. In this one, we have a homeless person dying, an elderly woman dying, 2 girls dying, and a female executive dying. In the other one, we have one homeless person dying. Now, I think this one is fairly easy, because if the car could read this, both scenarios, and check, you want to save as many people as you can. And it doesn't matter whether the right one was a homeless person, an executive, fucking Obama or whatever. There's one person there, there's 5 person on the other side, and we need to make sure that as less people as possible die when something happens. So it's gonna have to go for the one homeless person, even though I don't dislike you. Alright, the most safe character for me was a woman. Always been a ladies' man. What can I say? The most kill character was a thief. Saving more lives didn't matter to me as much as to others. I mean, it did in the scenarios where it counted. Protecting passengers was a bit more important to me, yes, than other people, because that's the truth. That's true. I think that is important. Upholding the law, to me, again, was very important. Because for others as well, there are at least on this side of the bar. Because, you know, people who obey the law have to be protected, because if they go to a green light, they should be expecting, and they should be able to expect to be able to cross safely without dying by some brakeless car, especially the one that had just animals in them, because that's gonna look so weird in the newspapers. Avoiding intervention didn't matter as much to me as it did to others. Gender preference, apparently I have a huge gender preference to females. Well, tell me something I didn't know. The species preference, you know, at least other people were even more into humans. I tried my best to save some of the animals, as you can see. I tried my best. Age preference, others were more towards younger people. I was exactly in the middle. Or well, a slight little nudge to the younger people. But I'd like to believe that I was equal there, which is good. Fitness preference, I didn't even know there was a difference in that. I mean, with the athlete of stuff. Apparently, I have a huge preference for fit people. While other people were more equal on that one. I didn't... I mean, you've seen what happened. I didn't pick on that. I didn't pick on the gender or anything. I simply picked by the rules and by what I think a self-driving car should be doing. And the last one said that social value preference, others were towards higher, and I was totally on higher in the social values. I can kind of understand why, but I also most of the time didn't mean it that way. Well, there you have the entirety of my little test right there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to do this test, I will leave a link in the description. People are actually using these results to try and figure out what they want, what is important. Obviously, I hope that this is not going to be scenarios that they're going to happen, but they're going to have to choose about it. And of course, they would like to have the public speak about it too. But of course, I hope that we can prevent any sort of accidents and that we can get protection for both people within the car as the people outside the car, or not get real self-driving cars at all, because why would we give away something that's so dangerous to give away? I don't really get that, but that's just my opinion. It's not like I'm against progress and against technology and progress in technology, but so many accidents happen as it is. Unless we can make that so much better and safer with robots and with automatic driving, why would we do it? Because it's already such a dangerous thing to give away. And it's not like we're creating something that is flawless and it's always going to do exactly what it should be doing. It's not something which has a moral compass. It's something that does what it's been told by humans. And it's probably hackable. It might be hackable. There's lots of dangers coming with it as well. So people should be really thinking about how far do we want to go. But anyway, that's enough for me rambling today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like, especially for the elderly people who I killed today. I'm so sorry. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Drive safely.